It was a quiet morning in Willow Creek, a sleepy little town nestled between forested hills and misty lakes. Birds chirped in the distance, the roads were damp from the night's rain, and Officer Emily Hart had just started her morning patrol. Her cruiser rolled slowly past empty sidewalks, her eyes scanning for anything out of place. She was just passing the old Miller barn long abandoned, when something in her rear view mirror caught her eye. A flash of fur. She slowed down, unsure. Of what she had seen, there it was again. A tiny German Shepherd puppy, no older than a few weeks, limping slightly and trying desperately to catch up with her police car. It ran with all its strength, tail down, ears perked up not in aggression but in desperation. As if it wasn't just running after her, it was begging her to stop. Emily's heart clenched. She stopped the car, stepped out, and knelt down. Ow! Puppy, muddy and shivering, rushed to her with no hesitation and placed its little paws on her boot. "Oh, sweetheart," she whispered. "What happened to you?" She picked it up gently, wrapped it in her jacket, and brought it into the car. The puppy didn't bark, didn't whine, just stared up at her with eyes full of pain and urgency. Emily reached over to her radio. "Dispatch, I found a stray puppy near the Miller barn. Looks like she's been through something. I'm bringing her in." But as she put the car in gear, the puppy started whining.
Out.
Not like a scared dog, but like she was trying to say something. Kept pawing at the window, then climbing into Emily's lap, then back to the window again. "What is it?" Emily asked. "You want to show me something?" She turned the car back toward the barn. The puppy instantly calmed down. Emily parked near the barn's entrance. The boards were old, the roof partially caved in. She tucked the puppy back in. Her jacket had stepped inside. The smell hit her first wet. Hey, old wood. Something else. Something foul. She followed the puppy's instincts. The little one wriggled in her arms, trying to get down. Emily set her on the ground and watched her run straight toward a pile of collapsed boards in the corner. The officer lifted the planks one by one. And that's when she saw it. Another German. Shepherd. Much older. Unmoving. Dropped to her knees. The adult dog was barely breathing. Skin stretched over bone, deep wounds across its flank. One leg was bent in an unnatural way, but somehow it had used its last ounce of strength to protect a smaller pup inside that barn. "Oh my God," Emily breathed. "You brought me too. Your mom." Tears welled up in her eyes. The puppy curled up next to the older dog, licking her face and whining softly. The older dog opened her eyes just barely, enough to see Emily, and in that brief moment there was peace in those tired eyes. The mother who had held on, just long enough to make sure her baby would be okay. Emily radioed in again. "I need backup and animal control. Now." Within minutes, her fellow officers and a local animal rescue team arrived. The mother dog was carefully moved to a stretcher. The puppy refused to leave her side, crying and trying to climb onto the gurney. "They were dumped here," said one of the rescuers, looking at the condition of the barn. "It's probably over a week ago. Someone left them to die." Emily clenched her fists. She didn't say anything, but her heart boiled with quiet rage. "Will she make it?" she asked. "We're not sure," said the vet tech. "But if we hadn't come today, she wouldn't have made it another night." Emily turned to the little puppy, who now sat beside her boot again, as if trusting her completely. "You saved your mom," Emily whispered. "You're a little hero." They named the mother Shepherd Grace, and the puppy Hope. At the clinic, Hope refused to eat unless Grace was beside her. The bond between them was unbreakable. Vets worked tirelessly through the night. Trying to stabilize Grace, days passed. Emily visited every evening after her shift, bringing treats and toys. Hope would run into her arms. Grace, though weak, would lift her head and wag her tail gently when she saw Emily. It was on the 5th day that Grace stopped breathing for a few seconds. The clinic was thrown into emergency mode. Emily was there. She held Hope tightly, shielding the pup from the panic and noise as vets fought to bring Grace back. Then, miracle happened. Grace's heart began to beat again, slow, steady. The entire clinic erupted in tears. They called it a miracle. Emily didn't believe in many things, but she believed that little puppy's love kept her. Mother alive, Hope never left her mother's side, and Emily never left theirs. Weeks later, with both dogs recovering, Emily began digging into who abandoned them. She went through surveillance footage, asked around, and found something disturbing. A man had been seen dumping a broken crate into the woods near the barn the night before a storm. He was identified someone with a history of animal abuse, but no one had ever caught him. This time, Emily had evidence. The man was arrested, and the town rallied around Hope and Grace. Donations poured in. Offers for adoption flooded the clinic, but Emily had already made her choice. She took them both home, and on the day the adoption was finalized, Grace, still limping, but stronger than ever, placed her head in Emily's lap, as if saying thank you. Hope jumped onto the couch beside her and curled up, finally at peace. From that day on, Emily, Grace, and Hope were inseparable. A family stitched together not by blood but by survival, courage, and love. And sometimes, late at night, when the house was quiet and the stars shone bright above Willow Creek, Emily would look at the two dogs curled up at her feet and whisper, "You found me when I didn't even know I needed to be found." That little German Shepherd puppy wasn't just looking for help. She was